Rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you want to be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo, set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 So life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. I always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flaws, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause it's sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up, really gon' rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you want to be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
She was attacked on the running trail. Laken was attacked on a running trail. According to Laken's family, Laken was an amazing daughter, sister, friend, and overall person in general. Her love of the Lord was exemplified in every aspect of her life. She will be missed every day, but we promise to honor her life moving forward in a big way. This statement reads in part, "During the most difficult time, we ask you to respect our privacy and provide us time and space necessary to grieve our daughter's life that was tragically cut short." These are just a few statements made by Laken Riley's family as we learn a little more about her attack and learn a little more about the assailant. However, something odd is going on here. I covered the case of Rachel Morin, which was another beautiful young lady that was jogging on the Ma and Pa Heritage Trail all the way in Bel Air, Maryland. Many people are starting to connect the dots, and then we learned from law enforcement that this man, Ibarra, was just in New York and was arrested in New York back in September, just 1 month after the attack of Rachel Morin. Many people have gone to social media expressing the same thing. This man here is the composite for the Rachel Morin case, which looks very similar to some of the facial features in Ibarra, the attacker of Laken Riley. There's also clear distinguishing factors related to this man's haircut. Is this the man? I hope they're checking the DNA. Let's keep the Laken and Rachel families in our thoughts and prayers today as law enforcement work both of their cases. From the East Coast to the West Coast, we are everywhere true crime is. We are asking for the public's help. We are searching in the woods. We are doing what it takes here on the Bullhorn Betty channels to find answers to the most alarming cases we have been watching on the news. I can tell you personally that I have traveled this entire country seeking these answers and bringing that content right here to you here on the Bullhorn Betty channels and Bullhorn Betty Crime Stories. We are happy with the work that we've done. We've brought many answers to the public, and we have defied mainstream media in our pursuit of the truth in these cases. We will continue to work. We will continue to fight for these victims, and we will continue to tell their stories here on my channels. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty brand of channels and the Coffee Club. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your support. And more importantly, thank you for allowing me to bring these victims' stories to each and every one of you, advocating for each of these victims. God bless you. God bless America. And more importantly, God bless our victims.
Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club.
What is up, my beautiful people of YouTube and X? It's nice to see you this beautiful Tuesday morning. We're not going to be staying here long. I will be back for more commentary this afternoon, but I wanted to say good morning to everyone before we got our day started, especially in light that I'm not going to be here for very long. So I thought I'd give you a few little updates on the cases that we are covering. We're covering the Audrey Cunningham case, the Elijah Vu case, as well as Laken Riley's case. Laken Riley, we're going to be dovetailing into Rachel Morin's case because we've covered Rachel Morin's case and the details out of Bel Air, Maryland. And as we are going through this, I want to just put some disclaimers here. I'm a very bold person. I state very bold statements. That's what makes me Bullhorn Betty. Okay, I do a lot of things that, defy some things, right? And we shake some trees, we get stuff done. Okay, I don't mind going out there and looking like a total idiot to get attention to a case if that is really what it requires. I don't mind standing there and taking on a government, a system, if it's going to advocate for a victim and get somebody behind bars. There's a lot of people that get upset with some of the things I say, and this is what I've got to say to that. I don't give a shit. There are some things going around that I'm attacking a family. You damn right. You damn right. I go after families that do stupid shit, like put pedophiles next to their children. And if people have a problem with it, there is a turn off button for this channel. There is an unsubscribe button for this channel. And there is a block button for this channel if anybody has a problem with anything that I do on this channel. I want to be very clear that this is my channel. These are my channels that I built based upon this and this. So if this isn't working for you, nobody needs you here. Okay? So am I attacking a father that lost his daughter? You damn right I am. And if that offends anybody, you don't have to be here. You don't have to be here. What I'm not going to do is I'm not going to let a whole entire social media campaign be attacked against a mother that was fighting for her daughter. Okay, that's one thing I'm not going to do. And I'm not going to stand here and watch it when I have these big, beautiful platforms to do something about it. So we're going to take the eyesight off Cassie, and we're going to move it over to Audrey's father where it deserves to be placed. Because everything I've read, everything I've seen, Cassie was trying to have something to do with her daughter's life. So this illusion that she's this piece of shit mom that just threw her daughter to the wolves is bullshit. And I know it is because I looked into it. You don't have to believe me. You don't have to like me. There's a few things that people do know and they come here for. It's because I don't really give a crap. And I just tell it like it is. And believe me, if I really thought this mother had anything to do with it, I would not be here talking about her right now. Right? I would not be up here advocating for her to tell people on social media, back the F off. If you got a problem with it, again, there's an unsubscribe button. There's a block button. You never have to see my face or my mouth again. But if you keep coming back here, you're supporting the work I'm doing. And we are going to keep on doing it. Okay? So getting on to a few things. What I've learned about Audrey Cunningham's case is that there was another person involved before this Stephen McDougal guy. His name was Henry. Okay? Bad guy. Another guy straight from the jail. Another guy that has disgusting background, including children, right? Living on this property. So now we don't have one bad guy, we have two. So mommy and daddy, mommy and grandma, can you explain that to Bullhorn Betty and family? Can you explain how you're up here saying, oh my gosh, it's the system. The system failed us. They didn't have him on the RSO, even though we knew he just got out of jail and we went and picked him up from the jail. Even though we know that he was a violent person, we decided to help him out because the Lord called our name. Okay? I'm saying that sarcastically because we all know that we go to church every Sunday. We're here to help people. And I'm all for helping those that, I'm a reformed person, right? I never went to prison. Never had to go that far. Never had to beat up people or rob people or anything like that. Right? But some people do. Some people have different life lessons than my life lessons. But they knew that this guy existed. They knew what kind of creep he was. You got to know if he's hitting on other women the way he was hitting on them, the way that we saw those text messages for other people, those disgusting, vile things he said to women. We have to assume that he was like that all the time. Okay, Grandma? Again, zebras don't change their stripes. So it makes me wonder what's going on here because Grandma looks a little chummy. So Grandma, instead of passing the buck and blaming the system, I still would like to know whether you had some relations with this Stephen McDougal. Moreover, I want to know if you had relations with Henry prior to him. Because for some reason, to me, it seems like Grandma is a factor in this case from where I'm standing, from what I'm researching. Now, I could be wrong. My daughter is maybe malfunctioning. Just maybe malfunctioning. I'm not a perfect person, right? Make mistakes. I have a pop mouth, so whatever I'm thinking just kind of pops out the mouth, right? No filter some days. So I work on it, right? It's a glaring defect, but I know about it, right? So each and every day I try to work on it. Doesn't work very well, again, zebras don't change their stripes. I fall victim to that myself, But Cassie, from everything I saw, was verbally and mentally abused by Joshua Cunningham. I had an opportunity to read some of the back and forths where she was trying to talk to him civilly about their daughter and about a way that she can have a path forward in her daughter's life. And she was met with being called a B, being called all these horrible names, being put down, being disrespected when all she's trying to do. And if he's doing that to her and to her face, God knows what he's saying behind her back we can only assume based upon some of the leaked text messages between this monster, Stephen McDougal, and Cassie. While Stephen McDougal was actively trying to set up a plan B and point the finger over there at Cassie. And of course, Grandma falls right in line with that when she calls the 911 call. Falls right in line with that. We got the 911 call. Let's hear what the 911 call says. This is what pisses me off. And you know what? At the end of the day, people don't have to like me. They don't have to like what I say. But in all fairness, you guys are still here every day watching, right? So some people must like proof to power. Let's see here. The 911 call. Where is it? Okay. I know I got it here because I remember Olivia. Here it is.
Granddaughter was dropped off at the bus at about 7 a.m. this morning and never made it on the bus and has not been seen since. 826. Female is about approximately 4'11", 86 pounds, blonde hair, long hair, blue eyes, last seen wearing a dark colored jacket. Can you show it to me? Good. Public service you, her address and his phone number. 1700. Missing juvenile. Called in from the county. They want us to check that address and see if she's there. It's supposed to be the mom's address. Mom does not have custody of her. Has never had custody of her. And has made threats recently to kidnap her.
So I want to know how Grandma got word that Cassie made threats that she's kidnapping. I went through the text messages. I mean, unless she called them up and left a message saying, "Hey, I'm coming to get the kid." I didn't see any threats. So why is Grandma? She's got a felon living in her house, and he was the last person that's seen her. But somehow Grandma didn't want to connect the dots. I'm sorry. If something like this happened in my house, the first thing I'm going to do is go to this Yahoo and say, "Where's my granddaughter?" I'm not passing the buck to my ex-husband. Because let's face it, the girl's 12 years or 11 years old, turning 12 years old. Right? Like if she's going to try to kidnap this child, you would think it would happen long before now. I mean, it's just the way my brain thinks. I could be wrong. I mean. I tell it like it is. And from where I'm standing, Lucky, Joshua Cunningham, aka Lucky, has a lot of explaining to do. Like, why did you belittle this woman's mother or this child's mother, not only in front of her, for a woman? Like, who thinks it's okay just to, I mean, if a person, I can honestly tell you that who I was in my 20s is not who I am today. I can tell you the woman I was in my 30s, I can promise you, is not the woman I am today. These things happened when this child was so young. Were there problems there? I'm sure there were. I'm not here to defend every decision or every bad behavior or bad decision either of these parents had. Going into the past is not where I'm going to reside. It was what was happening in and around this child when she disappeared that I have a problem with. I have a problem with a man that's keeping a child from his mother, meanwhile subjecting her around the types of people that he was subjecting her around. I have a problem with that. It sounds like I'm not alone, because I don't reach out to this family. I don't sit here and go onto their pages and say vile, nasty things to them or anything like that. I keep my stuff right here on my channel where it deserves to be. So when they're talking about being harassed or this, that, and that's not coming from this side of the fence. We denounce anything like that. But I'm going to call a spade, whether it hurts people's feelings or not. Because let's face it, we have an 11-year-old child that is gone. She is never coming back again. And when you peel the layer of onion away, you see who put her in danger. And it was not her mother. So again, let's reserve judgment on that. Are mistakes had? Sure. Again, I'm gonna challenge anybody here on my channel to raise their hand if they're so perfect. Because perfection is what is required this day and age, even though not one person can ever obtain it. Elijah Vu is a 3-year-old missing out of Wisconsin. Has a lot of hallmarks of it has a lot of hallmarks of several different cases. Okay, the landfill kind of gives us the PTSD related to Leilani Simon and Quentin Simon's case. There are obviously Jesse nor Katrina are being cooperative, because if they were being cooperative, obviously Elijah would have been found. We know with each passing day, this is a child that's 3 years old, cannot take care of himself, cannot go to the bathroom alone, cannot feed himself, cannot hydrate himself. He needs assistance to live. He's 3 years old. Okay. If children 3 years old could take care of themselves, we wouldn't have to worry about law enforcement knocking on everybody's door when they leave their child 3 years old or younger home alone, right? You go to jail for stuff like that. Why? Because we know children can't take care of themselves. This child has been missing supposedly since the 20th. But again, I have to caution my audience because they are looking for footage to go all the way back to the 12th. We did the work. There is proof of life on the 16th. So now we've closed the window from the 12th to the 16th around 2:30 or 3:30. The kicker is we have not seen him. We cannot place where this young boy was after the 16th. However, the only person he was seen with at the time was Jessie Vang, the mom's friend. People are saying that she stayed over in Wisconsin Dells. I don't believe it. Now, could I be wrong? I absolutely could be wrong, but I don't believe it. I believe she was staying there, that address is on her driver's license, and I believe she is probably maintaining a residence over there. I do. But it doesn't make sense that she has a busted down car. She probably has no vehicle, and she's commuting back and forth from Wisconsin Dells to Two Rivers. It doesn't make sense. What does make sense, though, is that her and Jesse were in a relationship, and she most likely came over from Wisconsin Dells to stay with him. You know, one of those things where you spend the night and just don't leave. It seems like something like that has happened. So it is of my belief that she was home at Jessie Vang's home in and around the time that her son disappeared. I do not believe she was over in Wisconsin Dells, but I could be wrong. Again, you know, telephone and audio and visual and cameras, street cameras, car data, all that stuff are going to come into play to prove that point. So I don't know. I'm not going to argue that she's in one place or another because I wasn't there. I don't know. But my brain tells me, my common sense, kicks in. It says, wait a minute, Wisconsin Dells all the way over here. It's some, hour or so plus away. She's got a busted down a car. Her mom's saying that she didn't have a car. Her car was a beater. Her car wasn't working. So how is she commuting, an hour or so away for her child? It doesn't make sense. How is she doing it? She has no car. We heard that she has a car, doesn't have a car, something like that. We heard that the van busted down. She had a minivan. It was a beater. It was gone. I don't know if she was driving a car. But even if she was, it doesn't sound like she has a lot of money to be commuting and paying gas back and forth from Wisconsin Dells to his house. And if they're boyfriend and girlfriend, they're not going to go a week, especially in a new relationship. They've just been dating for 6 months. Everybody's saying 3 months, but they were talking about some incidences that happened prior to December. So they've been together a little longer than we think. But even still, it's still new love. It's still new love. It's the up your butt type of, You know what I'm talking about. When you guys get into those new relationships, you're on the phone with them, you're talking a nonstop, blah blah blah. You're inseparable. You're stuck like glue until that first fight. Oh, thanks, Jen. Thanks. God bless you. So I kind of think it's something like that. I believe she was in town. I think that's what she was lying about with law enforcement, because law enforcement indicated that the mom had lied about her whereabouts several times. I think that was the lie. She's trying to say that she was over in Wisconsin Dells, and she's not. Guys, I want to show you. Can you guys see it? The froth on my latte. Yes, I decided to make myself an extra large latte. I'm liking this barista thing at the house. I got to say. I get espresso style coffee. This is the best latte ever, but I made it myself, right? I made it myself. And my latte this morning, my extra large latte this morning, probably cost me maybe $1 to make it home. $1. Like I can have six of these a day for the price I pay for one at Starbucks. Good heavens. And those flavors, I need white chocolate. White chocolate and salted caramel, I'm telling you, that is the best damn coffee, best damn latte you'll ever have. If you ever go to a specialty house, try the Bullhorn Betty, okay? The Bullhorn Betty is a white mocha, not mocha, a white mocha and caramel, okay? That's called the Bullhorn Betty. So next time you go to your coffee shop, you say you want the Bullhorn Betty, they're going to look at you and say, what? What's a Bullhorn Betty? Tell them to add it to the list, right? Add it to the list. So we got Elijah Vu. He was last seen with Jesse Vang. We have a good understanding why law enforcement believe that Jesse Vang is responsible for whatever happened to this child. I absolutely 100% believe it. The problem here is we don't know what Jesse's movements were. We have a little bit here and a little bit there. There's some trickled in information from some sources out in the area that are really trying to help guide police as well as the public. And they're providing us a little bit of information here and a little bit of information there. They're not giving us, they're painting us the whole picture. And I think a lot of that is because a lot of people just don't know. I don't even think law enforcement knows, it's a needle in a haystack. You got to try to find out, where it's almost like a scavenger hunt, if you will. It's not to make, bring light on it or anything like that. It's just the fact that it truly is kind of a scab. They don't know where this man is. They're trying to follow his data. He's not being cooperative. He's denying. He didn't do anything, right? Somebody had to have abducted him. He's pulling a Don Wells and a Candace Bly, right? Abduction. We know that didn't happen. We know that they most likely have evidence or collected evidence inside that home, inside his home or inside his vehicle that aren't showing the kinds of results that we would be hopeful for. I do believe they've got the right people. They're just building the case. I'm glad that they got him behind bars, and I'm glad that they're making it almost next to impossible. As low as their bond is, from my understanding, it's a cash bond, folks. It's a cash bond. So that means they have to pony, from my understanding. Now, people are going to have to correct me. I'm not with Wisconsin law. Okay. Wisconsin law. I don't like states that let their people, that let criminals out. I don't like states that are more in line with criminals' rights than they are with victims' rights. I'm sorry. I have problems with it. Wisconsin is kind of, one of those states that, I'm like, hey, you guys are complaining about having problems that you're creating yourself by your policies, by your irresponsible policies. And there are some of those, and I've seen some of, when I look into Wisconsin, I see some of these things that I don't like when it comes to the judicial department and how they deal with their crime and stuff like that. I don't agree. Criminals, when they break the law, deserve to be in jail. Now, you guys know my stance. I'm not talking about petty crap. Okay? There's a lot of crime out there that we as taxpayers are paying $100,000 a year to house somebody that stole a candy bar. I'm sick and tired of that. Okay?
I really am. We need to have some, instead of building prisons, we need to build prisons for the bad guys. These are the people that are predators. Okay, these are people that should never see the light of day again. Those are the people I want to see in prisons. Okay, these other people, drug problems and stuff like that, I want to see them in work camps. I want to see them having to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and go out and work all day long and learn a skill. I want them to be productive members of society because I'm sick of the revolving door that's costing us billions of dollars a year. Clearly, these people need, some of them have drug problems, so they need drug rehab. This thing about making pills, making pharmaceuticals cheap to buy and get people addicted, and then it's an arm and a leg to get recovered or go to recovery. I think that's ridiculous. That's unfair. There needs to be some type of help there. This is created by our government, for our government, and for their donors, right? The pharmaceutical companies. They need to pay their fair share. They caused a lot of damage in our country. And everybody keeps seeming to pass the buck. And then we have our politicians, oh, we got, a $3 billion lawsuit. Well, where's that money going? Well, it's going to the prosecutor's office. Oh, and where else? Oh, we're going to throw a little bit at these drugs. No. The prosecutor's office has already been bought and paid for. We, the people, pay for that. So why don't you take 100% of the proceeds and put that toward some recovery and other things that can help the people that are affected by what you're suing these people for? But they don't do it. They put it in a slush fund somewhere, and they got extra money to mismanage. That's how it works. Now, I'm being a little facetious here and being a little embellishing a little bit, but you guys get my point. So the 3-year-old still hasn't been found. They're checking, obviously land and sea right now. They have helicopters up. They've got, the family's got searchers out. They're expanding the search. They're trying to find any information. I do believe that they have found some evidence. I'm confident. Let me just put it this way. I'm confident that they have found evidence. What that evidence means, I don't want to speculate, but I am confident that there was evidence found. I'm confident that the evidence found does not lead law enforcement to a hopeful place. That's all I'm willing to say on that right now. So we still have the disappearance of this young boy. We want to advocate for him. His name is Elijah Vu. He's been missing according to law enforcement, since February 20th, but it is possible that he disappeared before the 20th, just based upon some of the requests from law enforcement. So again, if anybody's out in the Wisconsin area or across this country, because we never know, this could be an HT type of situation or an ST type of situation. We don't know, right? So we want to make sure that no matter what, anybody across this country is looking for this little boy. Now, there are some requests law enforcement is having. They don't want people holding back. Because of the nature of this case, because of the age of this child, law enforcement wants as much leads coming in. But I'm going to caution people on calling law enforcement unless you have direct knowledge or direct information. Because sometimes calling stuff in, like, have you thought about checking this area or that area, sometimes hinders an investigation, okay? Even though you're trying to really help an investigation by calling in or bringing somebody up because of something you heard online, could actually have the opposite effect. I'd rather people call in than not call in, because we are the team of, if you see something, say something. But we just want you to use your common sense. If in the future, either this case or one of our future cases, you call in or provide law enforcement information. He is a young boy. We need to find this information, but anybody in the Two Rivers, Wisconsin area, if you have any video footage from the 12th to the 20th, you're asked to reach out to your local law enforcement and hand that footage over. Moreover, if you've seen either of these people, whether it be Katrina Bauer, whether it be Jesse Vang, or whether it be Elijah Vu, if you saw them anytime between the 12th and the 20th, I'm going to ask you to please call your local law enforcement and speak to them about what you saw that day. It may be nothing big. It may be a normal day for all you know, right? But if you've seen them or think you see them, please call that in to law enforcement. We don't know what they're looking for. Any nugget of information might lead to the whereabouts of this young boy. So just be cognizant of that. Call those leads into law enforcement. You can reach out to the FBI. You can reach out to Wisconsin State Police Department, or you can reach out to the the Two River Police Department there in Wisconsin.
Investigation this week, the Harford County Sheriff's Department finally releasing sketches of the person they believe is her killer. More than 6 months after the murder of the mother of 5 was found dead, she's murdered on a popular hiking trail. Now remember, they already had video showing the suspect leaving a different crime scene in Los Angeles, where he's accused of assaulting a young girl during a home invasion, but you never see his face in that video. They were able to link the scenes using DNA found at both in Maryland and in Los Angeles, totally different parts of the country. And the red hat apparently is key. Police saying DNA.
The red hat is key. The red hat is key. The reason why we're bringing this case up is because we have a case of another young girl, beautiful woman that was attacked on, yet again, a running trail. Now, granted, it wasn't a hiking trail, but it was a well-populated running trail where people were around. In Rachel Morin's case, much similar to that, where there were people around. There were a lot of people in that community, and she was still attacked in broad daylight. These are very, very scary thoughts, that you can be running in a well-populated area and still be attacked, bludgeoned, and killed. It's blowing our mind. But it takes a very specific deviant to do something like this. And I'm kind of getting on the bandwagon in part. I can say that this man appears to have some facial features that I saw in the sketch. Predominantly, this area right here looks very similar to that of the sketch for Rachel Morin. And I just find it odd that we find out he had legal problems, law enforcement problems, back in September 2023, some 45 days after the attack on Rachel Morin. And we knew that the guy that attacked her had come from LA, or attacked somebody in LA 5 months prior to her attack. So he went from the West Coast to the East Coast. And then we hear this happened just the end of last week, where Laken Riley was attacked running, bludgeoned, most likely are similar in nature to the Rachel Morin case. And it makes you wonder. And then you look at him, and he has these sideburns, these shaved things. And it's predominant in the video from LA. It was displayed in the forensic sketch from Maryland. And we're seeing a guy resembling this guy, at least here. And then he turns his head, and you see the perfect shave marks down the side. And I'm thinking, how many people have that haircut? I don't see a lot of people with that haircut. In this one, 6 months later, looks like there's about 6 months worth of growth over that very specific and weird haircut. So I'm saying, yeah. And so while everybody is still on the bandwagon of talking about the failed policies of Biden, which I agree that this was a preventable situation, that if not for the Biden administration and the bleeding hearts of the people here that just want these crazy animals just crossing over our borders unchecked, we are creating this problem ourselves, the people that support these types of policies. I'm not one of those people. So while everybody's still bitching about that, I'd like to know about the DNA. Is anybody acknowledging the fact that social media is bringing up this alarming factor, and nobody's addressing it? Yeah, we can address it all day long until the cows come home that these are failed Biden policies that led to this woman's death. We can say that all day long. It's true. All right. So why are we beating a dead horse? The bottom line is Rachel Morin still deserves justice. Is this her assailant as well? I just like somebody in mainstream media to acknowledge this, to say, hey, there's been a lot of talk about this guy resembling this guy in the Rachel Morin case. Is law enforcement looking into this? Get Hartford County Sheriff's Department or Police Department on an interview. Is it being discussed? Is it being discussed? There's enough here. There's enough meat to the bone that we need to eliminate this. And the only way we're going to eliminate this is by law enforcement coming out and saying, hey, we've looked into it. It holds water or it doesn't hold water. That's what we need right now. You know? Okay, there we go. Hopefully you enjoy that and you got my message with your comment. What else do we have up in here? Good. I'm glad to hear that. But we have an assailant that nobody's addressing. He looks like him. He doesn't mind attacking women on a trail and doing horrible things to them. I mean, this guy's a serial person because he started out, he's learning behaviors as he's going because in LA, she lived. And he probably, was concerned, probably why he left the area. Then he goes over here. Nobody knows who he is because he's here most likely illegally. Why don't we say it? That's probably why he's not in the system, because if he was committing crimes like this in this country before all of this, we would have who he is in a system somewhere, which we do not. So I hope they're checking. I really truly believe that, part of their standard protocol, just to let you know, I think part of the law enforcement standard protocol is to run their DNA, especially for violent crimes and violent offenders, the felonies. I think that by them being arrested for a felony, it gives them an opportunity to get their DNA. And once they have their DNA, I think that's checked across the system to see if they're related to any other crime. That's what I'm assuming is going on. I don't know that to be the fact. But guys, we are at the end of our show. I've got to get moving. I just wanted to address the Audrey Cunningham case the most because I just think people have been unfair. First it was unfair to law enforcement, condemning law enforcement, saying they're not doing enough when they're not even there, seeing all that law enforcement was doing. The next thing, was the condemnation of the parents, which, I gave the respect for them time to grieve. I gave them over 72 hours before I decided to address much of the frustration that I've been harboring over the case of Audrey Cunningham. And there's going to be some pointed things that I'm going to be saying about this case as we move forward. And if the family doesn't like it, it's too bad. I really don't care at this point whether the father and the grandmother like Bullhorn Betty or not. I don't care, because at the end of the day, I'm not the one that put an 11-year-old child in harm's way. They did. And they did that all by themselves. And now they have to deal with the consequences of their poor decisions. And if they think that it just goes away just like that because they're hurting, no, it doesn't. Because people like me, we want transparency and we want justice, no matter where that justice comes from. This child should still be here, if not for the parents. And I don't want to say parents like mommy and daddy. I'm talking about daddy and grandma. And that's where we need to hold the responsibility. Did this man do that? Yes, this man needs to be held accountable. But there's more to this story. And we are seeking justice for this 11-year-old girl because she should still be here. And sometimes that means you got to look at the parents. And in this case, they played with fire. They played with fire. They played with fire until their daughter got burnt. And I'm sorry. That's unacceptable and inexcusable, whether they're grieving or not. So that's where we are in that case. If again, Not trying to offend people, but we tell it like it is here, and we don't back down. So if it's something that that bothers you, maybe sit this one out, right? Maybe sit this one out instead of having hurt feelings, because I'm going to roll with this story whether you like it or not. People are going to be offended by it, and it is what it's going to be, because at the end of the day, Dad put this child in jeopardy. This child lost her life because of those decisions. And we are going to put a light on that, because we don't want this happening again. And we want parents to understand and be aware of the dangers of their decisions. And this is one of those cases. So for all the channel sponsors, Skittles, God bless you. Thank you for that. It's me, Jen. Again, thank you. And Devil Dolls for becoming one of the newest members of the Coffee Club. God bless each and every one of you. I want you to make it a great Tuesday. I've got to go and start my day. I'll be back later this afternoon, and we'll dive more into these topics of conversations later this afternoon. God bless each and every one of you. Don't forget to be fearless. If you see something, say something. An ounce of prevention is worth the pound of cure. And until next time, please be safe and kind to one another. Here on the Bullhorn Betty channel, we say no to online harassment, and we say no to online bullying. So please learn your role, stay in your lane, and God bless each and every one of you.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.